The Sky shooting 38%. Caitlin Clark, another three-pointer. 6 threes on the night.
A career high in points and 12 dishes. While her rival hid in the shadows, she did not just break rookie records, but shattered all times. But the Sky channeled their inner Draymond Green to stop her.
Her 29 points gets tripped up.
And right from the start, 22 came out swinging, immediately recognizing the missing defender and isolated Aaliyah Smith on an island.
To be more aggressive offensively.
With the Chicago Sky keeping up, Caitlin knew she had to put some more fear in their hearts.
She has stepped up her game in that opportunity. Caitlin Clark for three, rattles it around for her first deep shot.
But Angel Reese had other plans, determined to keep the 8-12 lead strong.
Will be really important for both of these teams. Allen once again goes back to back.
Her teammate Allen was on fire and had no intention of letting that flame burn out.
Allen baseline look. The last 3 buckets from Lindsay Allen.
Even with Caitlin's wizardry, placing Aaliyah Boston in perfect positions to disrupt the streak didn't change the Sky's plans.
Taken all night.
Caitlin Clark, a dribbling exhibition, finds Boston, double team, all kinds of contact.
And Angel Reese made sure by solidifying that lead into double digits.
Way through, what a pass and a finish. Nice catch there from Angel Reese.
The Fever needed a spark, someone to pull them out of the gutter, and who else but 22.
WNBA player that has recorded consecutive 20-plus point rebounds.
But the Sky answered quick, giving the Fever no time to think.
It was you. What does it mean to have those comparisons?
With the score at 24-11 in favor of the Sky, Caitlin knew the Fever had to respond, and fast.
I love the way Caitlin Clark is playing.
To counter Angel Reese, the Fever made a high IQ move by subbing in their defensive behemoth, Timmy Fagbenle. The shift was immediate.
We're looking for Reese. Fagbenle tips it away and off and running. Caitlin Clark whips a pass, thread the needle. My goodness, what a play!
In this shift, they closed the lead down to 26-23, fighting their way back. With the first quarter clock winding down, they found themselves with a golden opportunity to tie. However, it became clear that Fagbenle was stretching beyond the imagination.
Caitlin Clark against Dana Evans, 3 on the quarter clock. Fagbenle misses everything.
And this would not be the last time. Despite her defensive dominance, her offensive liabilities would surface.
Find about when she would return. Turnover on the first possession, and the Fever ended the first quarter on a 12-2 run and tried to build.
Luckily for the Fever, Angel Reese was still missing layups, giving Indiana's golden child all the opening needed to start cooking.
On this possession, logo shot, logo make for Clark.
Even when Angel Reese put more of her moves on display, Fever's super sub proved to be her kryptonite.
This turn, spinning off her left shoulder and walked with it.
This gave CC the time and space to give some of her sharpshooting lessons on the other end.
The end of the first quarter, Clark again, heating up.
Heating up indeed, showing that 2020 vision.
Fagbenle with a huge block. An absolute wall at the rim leads to that, Eric.
And just like that, it was a close game again. With Caitlin Clark still on fire, the vision didn't end, dishing out assists to her Robin.
She's having the best three-point shooting season of her career, but she can also bang in the paint.
CC ignited a spark, giving Kelsey Mitchell more confidence to let it fly.
5 of 10 right now from behind the arc.
Speaking of a long shot.
Even with the hot streak, Robin will never be Batman.
Winding down, nearly a shot clock violation for the Sky. Caitlin Clark leaks out, can't get to it.
The Fever pushed their lead up to double digits, 43-33, with Caitlin Clark firmly at the reins. But the Sky were far from backing down.
Stays with it, that's that strength that you admire so much, and finds Panama.
However, 22 gave it no mind, driving without even looking if it went in, silencing Chicago's crowd.
To find a way to get Rachel Banham going, that's one way.
Count the packets! Caitlin Clark has an and one.
And scoring aside, collecting dimes had become her new hobby, just like they were infinity stones.
He's got 14 in the game. Clark
Hey guys, now right here I was just honestly confused on if I had to take the ball back or I could just lay it up. I had got my head a little bit too much. It was really extremely hot this day, by the way, everybody. Almost 100 degrees again.
And unfortunately, it was just a hobby.
Clark tried that difficult pass.
With the second quarter coming to an end, Angel Reese decided to step out of the shadows with a midi that would make any coach cringe.
Reese along two, drills it.
But it was Caitlin Clark who would have the last laugh.
Shuffle pass to Allen, who looks for Reese again, but Wheeler's in the way, and the Fever leak out Caitlin Clark. A layup drill for her.
Ending the quarter with the Fever leading 47-43. The third quarter, however, started just how the second had finished, with the Splash Girls taking over.
Kelsey Mitchell. 8 assists, 15 points in the first half, looking to add to her tally. Ooh.
The Sky threw everything they had to stop the rainstorm, but their efforts only seemed to make it worse.
That ball screen to create a shot for herself.
Clark with the step back and gets fouled.
Caitlin Clark, cool under pressure, stepped up to the free throw line and sank every single shot, extending the Fever's lead to 54-46. Still in the third quarter, with plenty of time left on the clock, the game remained wide open. Anything could happen, and anything did happen.
Onyenwere drills a three-pointer.
But Caitlin Clark wasn't backing down either. She knew this was a crucial moment, and instead of trying to do it all herself, she trusted in her teammates to finish the job.
Personals, Diamond DeShields has checked in, trying to defend Caitlin Clark. Smith, 1-foot runner.
And with the Sky finishing wide open layups like this, there was nothing left for Caitlin Clark to fear.
Worthwhile to see the reactions of these Fever players getting to meet those two stars.
Except for one player who refused to let the game slip away, the Sky's Black Air Force Warrior.
Inside 2 minutes left in the third, Caitlin Clark has checked back in.
With the threat of injury looming, CC made a strategic decision. Instead of putting herself directly on the front line, she chose to move the pieces on the chessboard. Unfortunately, not every piece was in place.
Oh, Fagbenle.
But the ones that were made her look like a grand master.
Be a guard, but so effective in the paint. And Boston tonight, they've had to work to get to the 9. 38%, but
It was obvious that Temi Fagbenle was unstoppable on defense. Her presence in the paint, acting as a wall against the Sky's offensive efforts. However, as the game wore on, it became increasingly clear that Fagbenle was turning out to be a bit of a one-trick pony.
Back to Fagbenle. It's her. Fagbenle? No. Boston, another rebound. Over to Teme, blocked by Cardoso.
Luckily for the Fever, their lead was pretty much secured at 87-71 in the fourth quarter, and most of the offense didn't need help.
Hole in the corner. She's got the last 6 for the Fever.
With a lead like that, Caitlin could have easily sat this one out at this point, but she wasn't about to take a back seat. She was hungry for more.
The Sky shooting 38%. Caitlin Clark, another three-pointer. 6 threes on the night.
With 6 threes on the night, Caitlin Clark was in the zone. The game had slowed down for her, and with the Fever comfortably ahead, she decided to have a little fun, channeling her inner globetrotter.
Eyes up, always looking at the court behind the back pass. Turnover.
But with the Black Air Force Warrior back on the floor, that fun was immediately shut down.
Here's Clark. Her 29 points gets tripped up.
This would have been enough for Caitlin Clark on the night. 31 points and 12 assists. It marked her 5th game this season with at least 20 points and 10 assists, setting a new record for the most in a single season. Historic. With the game in hand and the spotlight on her, a new conversation has begun. Caitlin Clark for MVP. How do you feel about Caitlin's chances? Is she your pick, or do you think someone else should take the crown? Let me know in the comments below. When Caitlin Clark showed she's the WNBA's chosen one.
Isolation here for Mitchell. Clark, another one. What is happening right now?
On June 8th, Caitlin Clark added another chapter to her Rookie of the Year campaign with a career-high performance against the Washington Mystics. But as much as she dazzled, this game got a lot closer than anyone expected.
Charity stripe into Dolson. Samuelson the three. That falls. 7.5 to play. 84.
Caitlin started the game with her usual aggressiveness, blowing past her defender with a quick step, only to be met by help defense in the paint. Trusting her vision, she dished it off to a teammate for what seemed like an easy bucket, but things didn't go as planned. Seconds later, Caitlin took matters into her own hands. No screen, no hesitation, just pure skill. She put her defender in a blender with some quick dribbles and finished with a smooth layup around the bigger defender. It was the start of something special.
Clark trying to get by. The Mystics defense gets right to the cup and lays it up and in.
With her first points on the board, Caitlin began to take control. She faked a shot at the three-point line, handing it off to Aaliyah Boston. The fake pulled two defenders onto her, leaving Boston wide open in the paint. One quick pass and a spin move later, Boston had an easy bucket.
Shot at the cup. Boston gets the slip and around Edwards, lays that up.
Then came transition time. One glance was all Caitlin needed to spot Kelsey Mitchell on the fast break. Too quick for anyone else to catch. A half-court dime from Caitlin turned into an easy layup for Mitchell.
Quickly up the floor is Mitchell. Beautiful find from Clark as Mitchell lays it up.
But not everything was smooth sailing. Julie Van Loo used some sneaky footwork to poke the ball away from Caitlin, turning it into a turnover. Van Loo then punished the Fever with an instant pull-up three, keeping the game close.
Van Loo comes up with the steal. She'll call her own number and splash that home. Ties it at 13.
On the next possession, the pressure was back on Caitlin. A defender's swipe nearly caused another turnover, but Caitlin recovered quickly. With two defenders closing in, she pulled off a step-back three from the logo, draining it and leaving the crowd buzzing.
Picked up now by Dee Richards as she's into the ball game. Richards on the floor. Clark, the step-back three just below the logo, drills it.
Still in the first quarter, Caitlin got the ball after a Mystics turnover and turned on the Jets. With a 2-on-1 situation, she patiently waited for the defender to commit before dishing it off to Nalissa Smith for an easy layup.
Gets it to her on the move. Beautiful two-person game.
And it wasn't just on offense where Caitlin was making an impact. She showed her defensive chops by getting a steal and immediately pushing the ball in transition, trusting her teammates to finish the play.
She's made in tonight's game. Wheeler, little in-out dribble. Gets that lay-in to go.
Seeing she could rely on her squad, Caitlin decided to flex her playmaking skills. She threaded the ball between two defenders, setting up Smith for a wide-open three on the wing.
Still with it. The kick, Smith will call her number and knock it down. Stretching the floor is Nalissa Smith.
Next play, Caitlin's defense shined again with another steal. She put the burners on in transition, but the defense caught up, forcing her to slow down. She reset the play, ignored the defense, and drove into the paint. Spying Aaliyah Boston wide open under the rim, she went for the easy dime, only to have it swiped away at the last moment. But Caitlin wasn't one to shy away. Not long after, she got free with some slick, off-the-ball movement, using a screen to get open for a moving, leaning three-pointer. Nothing but net.
Pulls off that screen, knocks it down. Even with her body fading, she can still control that shot.
Well, she comes off in a snaking manner on that weak side.
With her confidence sky high, Caitlin found herself in another transition play. This time, she pulled up from the logo without hesitation, but it didn't connect. The game was tight at 40-40, with 28 seconds left in the second quarter. Caitlin forced her way to the basket, drawing a foul and sinking both free throws to give the Fever a slim lead heading into the half. The second half started with a bang, but it wasn't Caitlin. Mitchell got open on the wing, and Caitlin delivered an easy dime, starting the half with a three-pointer.
He's going for the Mystics on the offensive end, now into double figures with 12.
With LSU's coach in the building, Caitlin had to show she wasn't just reliant on others. She brought the ball up in transition, found a mismatch, and stepped back from deep on the wing, hitting nothing but net.
Clark, pull up three, that one tickles the twine.
2 minutes later, Caitlin's off-the-ball movement left her wide open at the same spot. No defender in sight. She pulled up for a back-to-back three, and it was good again.
He's showing up, showing out.
Clark.
With the third quarter winding down, a minute left on the clock, Caitlin took control. She went coast to coast, putting her defender on skates with a behind-the-back move, pulling up just before the three-point line and draining her third three in a row.
On in that paint. So the best thing you can do as a defender is not give it to her.
Clark. Back-to-back triples for Caitlin Clark.
10 seconds later, Caitlin was at it again. With 23 seconds left, she got free off the ball, found herself wide open at the top of the key, and pulled up for a fourth three-pointer. It was another swish, until the refs called an illegal screen, spoiling the hot streak. Even with this insane effort, the Fever only had a 2-point lead. Going into the fourth, the Mystics tightened up their defense on Caitlin, but she trusted her teammates, setting up Samuelson for a three-pointer.
Samuelson at the buzzer.
Oh my.
But Caitlin wasn't done. Off an inbound pass, she got free with no screen, pulled up with a step-back jumper from the wing, and continued her hot streak.
Wasn't going to be able to see Katie Lou after last night's game, so today, really the first time they're seeing her.
Clark.
The Caitlin special kept rolling. Another off-the-ball movement got her open at her favorite spot, and without hesitation, she pulled up for her fifth three-pointer in a row.
Isolation here for Mitchell.
Clark, another one.
She was now at 7 threes and 25 points in total, but the Mystics weren't backing down, keeping the game within 2 points. The Fever needed to hold on to their lead, and Caitlin wasn't shying away from the moment. She attacked the basket, drawing contact and earning 2 clutch free throws.
Right there, a little jersey pull. They do. Well, that's what happened on the baseline and turn her back out to the corner.
The Mystics responded quickly in transition, cutting the lead back to 2.
And the foul. They're going to wave it off, actually, initially.
But it wasn't enough. Caitlin capped off the night with a 30-point bomb.
Time as the Fever will get their third win on the season.
If you ended up enjoying this video, why not subscribe? It's free, and you can always change your mind. Stay tuned for the next Caitlin Clark breakdown. Tonight, Caitlin Clark showed us one of the most complete games in WNBA history.
Clark, oh, she got to the rim!
Even when the refs hit her with a technical, she answered them with a perfect stat line.
Clark just blows by Jaquez and gets to the rim and trying to...
3 nights ago in Washington, she buried a game winner at the buzzer, but she also missed both free throws with 36 seconds left and nearly gave that game away. And now she walked into Gainbridge carrying all of that, the buzzer beater high and the free throw miss that almost cost her everything. She was shorthanded tonight because Sophie Cunningham was out, which meant this roster needed her to be the entire engine from the opening tip.
Deflected, way outside for Clark, who drops a three!
And on the very next trip, she drove into the paint, drew every eye in the building, and threw a hook pass to her teammate at the top of the key for a wide open three.
Knocking down triples.
Here's Boston's second three-point look.
Then the Sky committed a 3-second violation, and she stepped to the line and buried it, the first of what would become a historic night at the stripe. And because they still could not figure out how to guard the inbound, she placed a pass to her teammate on the left wing for another three that pushed the lead to 10-7. But she was not just carving them up on offense, because on the other end, she stayed in front of Smith on a hard drive to the basket and turned it into a stop.
The court for them.
Diggins right into Clark, who played it well.
And when the defense collapsed on her drive, she read it in real time and kicked the ball to her teammate in the left corner for a three that stretched the lead to 15-10.
Clark, kick out, Johnson, a three.
On the defensive end, they put Banham on her, but she flipped the matchup and forced Banham into 3 consecutive missed threes, just with her presence and her positioning. And when they came back the other way, she isolated Banham at the top of the key. And this is where you see what separates her from everyone else in this league. She spun off the contact, faded toward the baseline, and released a jumper that dropped clean through the net with Banham still reaching for air.
Clark spins, fades, fires, and hits.
and then she cut through the lane off a teammate's pass, drove hard to the rim, and drew the foul on Cloud because every time she attacks the paint, somebody has to give. She buried both free throws without hesitation, and 3 nights after the missed pair in Washington, you could already feel this was going to be a different kind of night at the line. By the end of the first quarter, the Fever led 27-12, and she was finding her teammates in transition, like this pass to a cutter on the left side for an easy finish.
Clark just oozing confidence. It's to Boston, and it's right on the money.
Then she took it herself, driving baseline with a defender on her hip and finishing with a reverse layup that she had no business making from that angle.
Driving baseline, creates some space and finishes with the reverse.
And because the Sky could not get back in transition, she went coast to coast from the rebound, split the defense at midcourt, and laid it in before anyone could rotate.
And on the attack, Clark banks it home.
But the Sky were not going quietly, because by the second quarter, they started throwing 2 and 3 bodies at her every time she touched the ball in the paint.
Drupal team, Indiana turns it over. Cloud launch ahead, it was a quarterback pass for Sheldon.
Yet, even when they took the ball from her, she answered with pure effort, missing a 3 at the top of the key and then chasing down her own rebound before flipping a one-hand pass to her teammate for an easy finish. That is 7 rebounds, 10 assists, and 32 points worth of desire on a single play, chasing a miss like it personally offended her. And right after the Sky scored on the other end, she pushed the pace immediately and drove straight to the rim in transition for a layup that kept the momentum locked on Indiana's side. Then, when the defense collapsed again, she found her teammate with a right-hand pocket pass in the paint for a finish through contact and the and one.
Really tough to guard.
Boston finds some space, lays it in.
But in the third quarter, everything shifted because she drove to the basket and got hit by 2 defenders, Jaquez and Stevens both making contact, and the refs swallowed the whistle completely.
All the way back from a 19-point deficit. How does Indiana respond?
And when she told the officials what she thought about it, they did not call the foul she earned, but they gave her a technical for the frustration, penalizing the player who was getting hit all night long. That technical changed the energy in the building, because the Sky felt it and started chipping away at the lead possession by possession until the 19-point cushion was completely gone.
It's on Diggins, and Diggins is called for the foul.
But she kept attacking through the double teams, because on this possession, she drew 2 defenders and found her teammate in the paint for a hook shot that briefly stopped the bleeding.
Clark feet inside, somehow got it to Timpson.
And then in transition, she pushed the defense again, drove hard at Coulibaly, and drew the foul because she refuses to let contact go unrewarded when the refs are watching.
Clark spins around and draws the foul. She'll head to the line.
She stepped to the line and buried both free throws again. And at this point, the pattern was undeniable, because every single one was dropping clean through the net. However, the Sky kept coming, and by the start of the fourth quarter, Chicago led 79-73, which meant the entire 19-point lead had evaporated into thin air. But she did not panic, because she faked the 3, drove past Cloud, and drew the foul that sent her to the line for 2 more free throws that she buried without blinking. And on the very next possession in transition, she went right back at Cloud, drove through the contact again, and drew another foul because Cloud could not stay in front of her.
On 2, takes it herself and draws the foul right back to the line for Caitlin Clark.
She stepped to the line with the crowd on its feet, and she buried both free throws again, cutting the deficit to 79-77 with the Fever clawing back into the game. Yet, even when the shot did not fall, she refused to let the possession die, because she missed a step-back 3 on the left wing and then pushed straight into the paint and found her teammate cutting for the layup that tied the game at 81.
Clark on the drive, circles around. Backdoor pass, it's right there to Boston.
That is the play of someone who will not let a miss become a wasted trip, because she turned a brick into a bucket with nothing but effort and vision. And from there, she used a double screen from her teammates, turned the corner, and drove all the way to the rim for a finish that put Indiana back ahead, 92-89.
Tacks the rim and lays it in.
Then she read the mismatch before anyone else in the building saw it, and she delivered a bounce pass into the paint for her teammate to finish underneath, stretching the lead to 94-89.
Has the size advantage. Boston takes advantage.
But the Sky would not stop fouling, and with 17 seconds left, Williams grabbed her on a drive and sent her to the line, where she buried both free throws to go 13 for 13 and push the lead to 98-93. And then, with 7 seconds left on the clock, the Fever turned it over, and Diggins buried a tying 3 that sent the game to overtime and erased everything Indiana had just fought to build. But overtime started, and she looked at that moment the way a killer looks at a second chance, because she had already been through the collapse and the technical, and none of it had broken her. She took the ball at the top of the key, drove straight at Taylor, hit her with a spin move in the paint, and finished with her right hand for a bucket that put Indiana up 102-98. And the replay showed exactly what Taylor was dealing with, because she spun off the contact twice and still finished at the rim like nobody was there.
Clark spinning. Clark, oh, she got to the rim!
And when she was not scoring, she was still orchestrating, because she took a handoff, drove toward the baseline, and kicked the ball back to her teammate at the perimeter for a jumper that pushed the lead to 106-101.
Boston, Clark back for Boston, she's open, and delivers!
That was her 10th assist of the night, and every single one of them came because she made the defense move first and then punished whatever they left open. Then on the inbound, she delivered a pass to her teammate cutting into the paint, and the foul they drew on the play stretched the lead to 108-104 with under a minute left. But there was one more wobble, because the Fever committed an 8-second violation that gave Chicago the ball back and had every person in Gainbridge holding their breath.
Yeah, I don't think they did. I think the official finally caught it.
However, the last word belonged to her, because she got fouled one final time, stepped to the line, and buried both free throws to finish 15 for 15 and seal the 114-106 overtime victory. 32 points on a night where she carried every single quarter, and then overtime. 10 assists and 7 rebounds, because she was the engine and the motor and the closer. 15 for 15 from the free throw line, 3 nights after the 2 misses in Washington that almost cost her everything. That was her 3rd career 30-point, 10-assist game, and nobody else in WNBA history has done it more than once. They gave her a technical, and she gave them a history book that only has her name in it. See you on the next one.
Of teams.
Clark at Howard. Ooh, left that one too strong, and she took quite. Nobody for Dallas gets back, and then a very late. Got a good look there, just couldn't knock it down. Hand on the other end. Rebound Dantas. Here comes Clark, and that's got to be transition taken. It is.
They had no choice but to try and stop her like this, because this wasn't just any game. This was the night Caitlin Clark put up a career-high 35 points, leaving defenders scrambling to keep up.
Indiana will reset. Clark, fire away. You bet. Come on.
Even with this scoring streak, Caitlin started the game as a team player.
They average 11 offensive rebounds a game, one of the best in the league.
Clark frees up Boston for 2 more.
After setting the tone with her playmaking, Caitlin couldn't resist testing out her jumper.
Clark on a step back, buries a three.
It's just a little bit.
With the first one hitting nothing but net, Caitlin wasn't done, going for the back-to-back shot.
Catch and shoot, and knocks down her second three.
Very well executed for Caitlin Clark.
But on her 3rd attempt, the defense closed in hard, and she drew the foul, earning herself a trip to the line.
Go. She is fouled. Well, there are 3-pointers.
Later on, she drove into the paint, embracing the contact and finishing strong at the rim.
Way through, finds an opening and banks it home.
She wanted that foul call, but the refs weren't giving it. That didn't faze her, though. She answered back in the best way possible.
Clark, fire away. You bet.
That's 3 for 3 from deep, and just 4 points away from hitting an all-time rookie high. The pressure was on, but Caitlin kept playing her game. With 14 points already on the board, Caitlin decided to share some of the spotlight.
Around the rim, McCowan does, from 2-point range.
Mitchell sidesteps a Wale and buries it.
Kelsey was more than ready, and with their chemistry, the duo started clicking right away. Even Aaliyah Boston got in on the action.
A needed bucket there to stop the bleeding for Dallas. Indiana had gone up 5.
Refusing to let up on either end of the floor. This trio was proving to be a force.
Mitchell backdoor lays it in.
Keeping the pressure on and building a lead that had the crowd on their feet. The momentum was all Indiana's, and Dallas knew they had to put a stop to it. Unfortunately, they chose the dirty way to get there.
Clark at Howard. Ooh, left that one too strong, and she took quite a tumble on the way down.
Caitlin took a hard hit on a drive, a clear attempt to throw her off her rhythm, but instead of backing down, she came back stronger, determined to keep her team ahead.
Clark shaking off Sheldon, hits a deep two.
Coming out of the half, the score was back to even, but Caitlin was ready to let her game do the talking.
Screen, mid-range jumper.
But Clark right back to Boston, who got inside position on.
But when she drove again, she was met with even more contact.
Backing in Sheldon. Clark trying to spin around her. There's a foul first.
She finally drew the foul, but this little bit of resistance showed that Dallas wasn't going to make it easy for her. They were determined to disrupt her rhythm, but Caitlin stayed locked in, unfazed.
Zoom trying to frustrate Clark. Oh, but Clark with 3 more.
With that 3, she not only tied the game at 78, but also officially broke the all-time rookie scoring record. The crowd erupted, witnessing history in real time as Caitlin etched her name in the books. Right on cue, the Wings struck again, another hard foul at the rim. This time, the refs had to take a closer look. After reviewing the play, they called it a flagrant foul. It was clear that Dallas was pulling out all the stops to try to slow her down, but Caitlin wasn't backing down.
Final 5 seconds. Oh no!
But with Lexi Hull missing a wide-open layup and Fagbinley fumbling the ball, Caitlin took matters into her own hands.
Clark hangs and finishes.
She drove straight to the rim, weaving through defenders, showing everyone why she's the go-to player. She wasn't just playing for points, she was playing to carry her team, refusing to let missed opportunities hold them back. When stopping her at the rim wasn't enough, the Wings got creative, trying to get physical with her at every opportunity. But each time Caitlin took a hit, she came back stronger, using every bit of contact as fuel.
Green. Clark launches, hits a 3.
With the clock winding down and the game still hanging in the balance, Caitlin was just 2 points shy of her career high. 4 minutes left, and every possession mattered.
Ball screen.
Clark. Yes!
And then she did it. Caitlin Clark hit her career high mark, breaking new ground with a dazzling shot. The crowd erupted, and the momentum was all Indiana's. But Dallas wasn't backing down. They resorted to a hard shove in transition.
Here comes Clark, and that's gotta be transition taken. It is.
With a trip to the line, Caitlin brought her total up to 33 points. And in those final 2 minutes, clutch time, she shifted gears, setting up her teammates with pinpoint passes.
Mitchell catch and shoot. Buries a 3.
First, Mitchell nailed a shot, and then Dantas sank a crucial corner 3.
No whistle either way. Dantas corner 3 knocks it down.
A few free throws and a late ejection for the Wings later. Caitlin closed out the game with 35 points, her highest scoring game of her rookie season. And with that, the Fever secured a gritty win over the Dallas Wings. It was a hard-fought battle where Caitlin overcame adversity and let her game do the talking. 2 nights after limping off hurt, Caitlin Clark walked back in and picked the perfect target. A Seattle Storm team that thought it had caught the Fever at their weakest. No Aaliyah Boston in sight. And she did not just come back. She went above and beyond anything she had ever done.
Under 10.
Clark fires. Hits. Caitlin Clark doing it all.
45 points, the biggest night of her entire career. 10 assists stacked on top, the first game like it in WNBA history, and the game winner on a bad leg with 39 seconds left. The Storm did not catch a wounded star. They woke one up.
Clark with 15 points here on the night.
But before the history, the night opened with a hole in Indiana's lineup. No all-star center meant every Seattle eye locked onto Caitlin. That attention freed Mitchell early, and it left Jade Melbourne alone on an island.
Here's Clark sizing up Melbourne, steps back and connects.
Sense a big game coming, Pat. From
Seattle packed the paint after that, daring her to keep driving.
staff.
Clark looking healthy here in the early going.
A wall at the rim only means somebody else is standing open.
And a heavy dose of Caitlin Clark here so far, and Mitchell finishes at the rim. 45 degrees.
The assist was only half of it, because her hands got busy on defense.
Mitchell, Clark hanging on to that dribble, and here's Clark.
All that confidence boiled over in transition, and it cost Indiana a possession.
Coming into tonight, but they've been first all season long, as Clark can't connect with Kelsey Mitchell.
By now, she was reading Seattle 2 passes ahead of everybody else.
Players.
Here is Clark bouncing inside for a cutting Billings.
She had been so generous, Seattle almost forgot she shoots from the parking lot.
Clark behind in the backside, stepping, knocks down a three. Got a feeling, Pat.
After that bomb, defenders had to pick a poison and every choice was wrong.
Discipline there after she got beat, not committing a foul.
Clark, it's coming Billings again. And this time, Billings will head to the free throw.
A step back from 30 feet deserved a second look, and so did the vision that keeps this whole offense breathing. Seattle hung around anyway, and her jumper briefly went cold.
Clark shot fakes the three, creates some space.
So she just went and stole the momentum right back.
Oh, and Clark with a steal. Clark thought about firing, and instead sets up Mitchell.
Rookie Flaugy Johnson decided she was done watching the Caitlin show.
Timpson. Clark had it blocked.
Getting her shot sent back only sharpened her focus.
Mitchell on the attack, gets to the rim and rolls it home.
So Mitchell ghosts out of that ball.
She and Mitchell were cooking now, and Seattle had no answer for the recipe.
Without Aaliyah Boston on the floor. Clark, bounce pass, Mitchell and one.
2 nights after the refs swallowed their whistles, she made them blow it. Carly Samuelson decided to test that whistle from 3-point land.
Clark working behind the back, gets to the rim and draws the foul.
The line kept feeding her, so she went hunting along the baseline too.
And she is long.
And Clark is fouled on this three-point attempt. Samuelson is asking for a review.
Melvin misturned. She opted for the three over the top.
Clark the hesitation. She'll go right back to the line.
9 free throws in 4 minutes, and maybe she got a little too comfortable.
Here is Clark. Wrap around pass deflected and stolen.
She took that turnover personally, and Seattle was about to find out.
It's 4 on 3. Clark the hesitation. Clark on the drive. Harris. Clark. Oh, yes. Indiana's offense is humming. It's her 200th of her career.
Up big now, she got a little loose.
Real opportunity for Indiana. Clark with 15 points here on the night.
She wiped the smudge off immediately, straight back into the 2-woman game.
Just 3 shy of it. Just past the midway point of the season, and that backcourt continues to show off.
She was on fire, and the Storm had one answer left: foul her hard.
Here is Clark, who draws the foul.
But that did not stop her. Limping to the line, she took the free throws and passed another record. Indiana ran into halftime way ahead, and the broadcast could not resist reliving why.
Clark and Mitchell have combined for 38, but 18 for Malonga, 11 for Heidemann.
One look was never going to be enough for a half like that. Seattle stormed out of the locker room, and Indiana needed an answer fast.
Just a bad read.
But Mitchell makes up for it.
So she moves on to the next play.
The lead kept shrinking, so she attacked the paint Seattle was protecting.
She is on the floor for Indiana. Clark rejects the screen, gets inside, draws the foul, and can't roll it home. But
Every Storm punch got an answer before the crowd could even worry.
Clark on the drive, and Clark gets to the rim.
Flaugy tried her luck again, and gambling on Caitlin's jumper never pays. Seattle still cut it to 1, and the building held its breath.
We have had entire games in the WNBA without this much scoring. Clark answers. It's a good old-fashioned shootout here in Indy.
She wanted to slam the door from way downtown.
Restriction here tonight. Clark from way outside.
The deep one rimmed out, so she rerouted straight to the rim.
Oh, Clark, pretty crossover, and one.
By the 4th, Seattle had flipped the whole game, so she dug in on defense.
Melvin had it knocked away by Clark, out of bounds off of Indiana.
Down 4, she refused to panic, moving Seattle around like chess pieces.
Clark off the Billings screen, feeds a cutting Billings. So good.
Pat getting off that action, off that screen. She has worked really hard at her timing.
She even gave a foul back hustling. Down 4 with the clock shrinking, she kept attacking anyway.
Clark off the billing screen, the hesitation, can't bank it home.
The rim said no. Seattle stretched it to 8, and doubt crept in loud.
Clark steps back, difficult shots. That gives her a season.
One tough bucket steadied the ship, so she immediately hunted a bigger one.
Steal. Here comes Clark.
That one rimmed out too, but the pressure on Melbourne never let up.
Now Clark is fouled, and that is the 4th foul on Seattle. So
5 minutes left, still down 6, and she went back to trusting Mitchell.
bring him back in it.
You top block Kelsey Mitchell because you worry about that dribble.
With the game slipping, she called her own number and cleared everybody out.
Shot clock down to 10. Clark spinning. And
Clark keeps her dribble alive and has done a really good job all night of making
Down 4, tied with her old career high, the moment begged for something enormous.
experience of Heidemann.
Clark. And triple.
A new career high meant nothing yet, because Seattle still had the lead.
At 5. Melvin on Clark. Fires it up. Leaves it shorts. What a big rebound by Flau'jae Johnson. Clark lost it for the moment. Here is Clark bouncing. Billings lays it in. And one. Billings to the line with a chance to tie it.
Stop meant nothing without points, and 2 defenders came flying at her. 1 point game, final minute, back live, game tied, a bad Indiana pass, and Flau'jae saw open floor.
Johnson had it wrenched away. Clark knocked it off the Johnson. It's Fever basketball.
She erased the mistake herself, and everyone in the building knew what came next. Seattle had 1 move remaining. Foul her. The Storm refused to die, so the ball found her hands one final time.
Under 10.
Clark fires. And hits. Caitlin Clark doing it all.
Then the Storm had no choice and played the foul game. But in the final 18 seconds, she made sure to hit every single one.
Clark.
And I'm not sure Stephanie White to the basketball, so they don't get a full head of steam up the floor.
45 for Clark, ties the 2nd most in a game. Heidemann has to hit this. And she misses.
17 of 19 from the line, and someone had news for her at midcourt. 45 points, 10 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks in 29 minutes. No player in WNBA history had ever posted 45 and 10 before her. 2 nights after limping off hurt, she authored the greatest game of her life. Hit that subscribe button, because she is nowhere near done rewriting this league.